Oh, Jeremy didn't have me unmuted. Wow. Everyone type L in the comment section for Jeremy having me muted to get things going.
Sorry.
Explain yourself.
I muted you because I was working on the photo thing that we were doing with the video.
Yeah. I know you.
And
I
I
know.
just forgot to unmute it at the very end.
Absolute L.
Can I blame it on the cap space like Jerry?
Sure,
Is
you
that
go for the
possible?
cap space.
There just wasn't enough pie?
Not enough pie available to have two audio inputs at the same time. Everyone get the L's going. I'm Tom Downey. We got producer Jeremy here, live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Rumble as well. Let's get into the news of the day. Off the top here, the Cowboys. Jeremy will you're going to never financially recover from this. The Cowboys have officially tagged Tony Pollard, which shouldn't be much of a surprise. Broke that down earlier this morning in the breaking news video. But I do want to hear your guys' thoughts in the live comment section as well. Now, this part is just yes or no. I had some more fun on the pin poll side, which was, do you like tagging Tony Pollard? Yes, no because you want to pay him, or no because you want to let him walk. So it is right now 59% say yes, 28% say no, you want a long-term deal done, 12% say let him walk.
I mean, will he even be ready by the beginning of next season?
Yes, he will be. 100%.
Or is this going to be like a Zeke, oh, he's coming back from injury, he's perfectly fine, and then, he goes to like 3 yards a carry.
I'm much less worried about that because tightrope ankle and healing on its own leg fractures isn't that. I'd be more worried if it was an ACL, frankly. That would have me more concerned.
I'm just glad the Cowboys are paying another running back.
That part's fair. And the one reason why I'm a little bit more open to it is Pollard's actually fast, and you got no speed on this team right now. You got like two guys who run sub 4.5.
Well, Tom, Pollard was fast before his injury.
Should still be very fast.
We'll see.
You have one sub 4.4 guy and two sub 4.5 guys, and the other two guys don't play for you in Fehoko and Turpin. They can't get on the field at all.
Bloodslinger with a stove.
There we go. The super chat, $5. Thank you, Blood. If you throw in a super chat, we'll answer it here on the show. Worried McCarthy calling plays. Wasn't a couple years ago he didn't even know the offensive playbook. That was a report from this year that he didn't want to call the plays because he wasn't familiar enough with the offense. Now,
I mean, that's pretty normal that your head coach doesn't know the offensive playbook.
It's very normal when you have an offensive-minded head coach, which was a huge concern. I do think he got more involved there. Mike did say, by the way, that the terminology is not going to change, which means it'll be more philosophical, more play design than it will be that element changing in the offense. I think it's a valid concern. It's reasonable to want more from this Cowboys team, and Steven's new buzzword, one click better. It's all you kind of need right now. But from a percentage standpoint, I think I'd be more worried about it getting worse. Because, like, you could have the number 6 offense, and that'd be worse than what you had. Now, if you get number 6 offense in every playoff game, we're much happier.
I also love in that quote that Steven stated the most obvious thing of, if our team was better, we'd go farther in the playoffs. If everybody was just a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean,
which of course they won't do it to upgrade the roster.
But I mean, duh. Like,
duh,
if our team was better, we might have won.
All right, let's move to our next question here because we're doing a new mock draft today because they're fun and entertaining, and the Combine just wrapped up. How many online mock drafts have you done so far? Drop that figure for me in the comments. We'll say got through at least 3 rounds of them. Not all the way to completion, but close enough. 6.9505555. Jeremy chugs his burner. The mind can't comprehend that number. 30 plus, 1 too many, 0. Waiting for the Combine to finish.
Daniel,
there you go.
I've done like 15.
15. I see 10, 6. There's a couple zeros mixed in there. So that's not a huge surprise. You're like, whatever the proper term is, like the dot chart. It's going to be like kind of low on one end and then super high on the other, and kind of flattens out in the middle. It's kind of like an inverted U to an extent, which would be funny there.
What is that, the bell curve?
Yeah, it's an inverse bell curve. It goes like this. No one does just a few. Everyone does a lot or a little, which is fair.
Like potato chips.
Once you pop, you can't stop. Get those answers in. Not technically a potato chip either. How many online mock drafts have you guys done? Let us know in the comments. As another super chat comes in, Antoine Daniels. Seeing Pollard being franchised, think Elliott will be released and replaced in the upcoming draft?
Oh, he's Jerry's boy.
I know what
He's not
Jerry
going
said
anywhere.
on his bus that I wasn't allowed on.
You weren't allowed on the bus?
I wasn't allowed on the bus.
Did you try?
I don't get invited to the bus.
Did you try?
No, we only found it after it all ended. Because I think they met somewhere else and then drove to ended up where we had dinner.
I could have hooked you up. I know the Cowboys PR guy.
Oh, well, one day maybe they'll let me on. All my anti-Stephen Jones comments might not sit very well with them. Anyway, Zeke will not be back at his current cap hit. It is going to be a significant pay cut if he returns. I still kind of lean towards, I just think he's going to get cut in the end.
I mean, he's going to get cut, and then he's going to get brought back at like a $5 million, $6 million contract.
So that's pay cut from a practical perspective. If they give him $5 million, I'm going to be like, what are we doing here? He's just not worth it. I'm sorry. He's just not that guy anymore.
Hey, he's one of Jerry's boys.
I know he is, and they like their guys, but like he's not that dude anymore. He hasn't been.
He's probably the best Cowboys running back of all time.
See, Jeremy, that one's a bad troll because it's too obvious that you're trolling. It's too obvious.
Has there been any other rookie running back to have as many yards for the Cowboys as Zeke?
Rookie? I'm not sure. Career? If we're doing more than 1 year? By that argument, means Dak's the greatest quarterback ever.
I'm just saying, for a short period of time, Zeke was the best running back in Cowboys franchise
short
history.
Period of time, Zeke was awesome.
The best
But
running back in Cowboys franchise history.
I think he had the best rookie year of any running back. I believe he outperformed Emmitt Smith, but like, come on.
Oh, actually, good point. Behind Lance Dunbar.
That's there we go. There we go.
UNT great. GMG.
All right, let's talk Terence Steele since he has been tendered, second-round tender by the Dallas Cowboys. What would you do with him? T for trade him. Let a team make an offer sheet, get that second-round pick back. W for wait, let him play the year on that tender. Or P for pay him right now. T, W, or P. Now we got arguments over who's the best back in Cowboys history. There's Dorsett and Emmett. Emmett, guys. I'm sorry.
Dorsett.
It's Emmett.
It's Dorsett.
Best running back ever. Emmett.
Dorsett, Marion Barber, Zeke.
I do love me some Marion the Barbarian. I see a lot of P's in there from Dancing Dak Prescott, Sam Jordan, Clayton Lockhart. I also like how Dancing Dak has the hip movement. Bruno, Alec K. Some W's in there. Not very many T's. A little Joshua and J.C. Richardson threw him in there. That might be a good community post to make because I think I always like to find things that I can get as close to 50-50 or in this case 33% each side as possible.
Best Cowboys running back of all time.
Troy Hambrick. Super chat time. $1 from Joseph Rodriguez.
Felix Jones.
Ah, yes, one of two guys Arkansas players Cowboys drafted.
Sweet.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that one. I didn't see a question in there
another
from
one
Joseph to make sure I didn't miss one.
From Mr. Blood.
If the Cowboys draft Bijan, I think they might let go of Pollard after next year. Yeah, I think that they would, and that's like this scenario I don't really want. Unless they actually spend elsewhere and like affix all their needs in free agency.
Serious question.
Because otherwise you've invested the biggest one-year deal you'll give, $10 million this year in running back, and your best draft asset in a running back. That's just bad business.
Serious question here.
Okay.
With the Cowboys.
Serious answer coming.
Cowboys, obviously, they're
it's not
big
a serious
on like
question. He's
player
smiling
branding,
too much.
big on like, having their stars, be branded. If you sign Bijan, do we get his mustard in AT&T Stadium?
100% yes. Or at least they'll do it like at the Star, like they'll get the hook up there in some capacity.
The Bijan Dijon.
Jerry will help him out with that. Yes. Yes. That will happen. I'm not sure what like the legality is or like the salary cap and all that stuff, but Jerry will help him out from a business perspective. Absolutely. Will.
Dude. I mean, even coming from me, an Eagles fan, I do have to say, Cowboys have some of the best stadium food out of anybody in the entire NFL. If you haven't had it already, their mac and cheese is elite. But
You've told me about that many a time.
Bro, I'm telling if you haven't had it yet.
Yeah. All right, from Chris B, another super chat. We're not going to start the show till the supers stop, so keep the supers coming.
Never stop super chatting. We'll never start the show.
We'll just be here as long as you guys super that. Simple. After Jerry's comments at the Combine, I'm even more convinced we ain't going to do squat in free agency. We have a strong draft to fill all the holes we're going to have.
Giggity.
Bonk. That's what they do. There'll always be a new excuse in the end.
I see now, Joseph. Joseph's a huge OU fan.
There you go. From Joseph Rodriguez. How'd you feel about drafting Marvin Mims and Eric Gray? Mims ran a lot better than I thought he was going to. I think what he was even measuring at Exos.
He's been really low-key in this, draft process.
Maybe he would have been more hyped if Lincoln and Caleb hadn't left him.
I was going to say, he was, the best wide receiver on that team for a little bit. So, if you can snag Marvin Mims in the third, I think that'd be a win, Tom.
I think that's about where he ends up going. I think Eric Gray's probably maybe more of a fourth-round guy. It's a really great running back class, so you can wait a little bit if you want to. There will be plenty of very quality players. I would not be mad if they ended up with either of those guys there.
Mark!
There you go.
From Hawaii!
If our drafted OTs were any good, we could have traded him. Dorsett all the way. 33 never had the line Emmett did. That part's probably fair. And both, of course, are Hall of Famers. Jeremy, you dicks get 2 number 1s. I was reading this. I remember it was Docs or an O at first. I guess about the Eagles getting 2 first-round picks there. If Josh Ball wasn't terrible, maybe that could have been an option for you to move on from Steele. I'm not out on
terrible person and football player.
Yeah, you problems when you're both of those things. That's not going to fly in the NFL. They'll ignore things if you're good at football. Look, if Hannibal Lecter could run a 4.3, it's an eating disorder. That's all it is. But he can't run a 4.3.
If John Morant only shot 30% from the field, he'd be out of the league.
He'd be out of the league. There you go. But he's not. Also, Matt Willet's I'm not out on, but I think he's probably more of a swing tackle than I'd say he's a starter. Although you found a starter somehow in Terence Steele in this UDFA. It was pretty great there. Let's talk Zeke here. Will he return to the Dallas Cowboys? We'll go more in depth on this here.
The greatest Dallas Cowboys running back of all time.
Early on today. So this also ties in well to Chris B's super chat. We're really going to bring back Zeke. Front office stinks. I do think Jerry's comments incited more panic than maybe there needed to be about this whole conversation. I don't think anything's actually changed. It's a significant pay cut. We're talking, I would offer the vet minimum. He might ask and maybe get a little bit more, but they're not bringing him back at his current deal. There's no chance of that. It's how big of the cut is he willing to take, and are the Cowboys okay doing that? So I'm not assuming Zeke's back, despite what Jerry may have said publicly. I'm not really buying it there at all. To get those votes in, Y for yes, N for no. Another super chat from Andrew Summers. We're halfway to 69 in shots.
We're halfway
Actually
there.
Past it now.
Oh,
Who sings that song?
living on a prayer.
Jeremy, who sings that song?
Jeremy Chugs.
Ah, damn it. You
Take
knew
my
what I was going
hand.
for.
We'll make it.
Andrew, but Tom, did we go all in for Dak's rookie year? You see that floating around? Also, the best tight end is James Hanna. There we go. That's a throwback Cowboys legend name. Yeah, Jerry made the comment that we can't build the same roster that we had when Dak was on his first deal. Look, you're right, Andrew. The problem is they weren't aggressive when they had him on the rookie contract. And they are not an aggressive team, so they'll prop it up as an excuse of, the contract. Meanwhile, the Saints just paid Derek Carr $37.5 million, and they were $100 million over the cap because the cap's manipulatable if you want to be. I'm not even saying go be like the Saints. Just do it once or twice a year. That's all I'm asking for, please. All right, Joshua Ramsey.
Jalen's brother.
Who's your ideal first-round pick? I would like to get one of those corners. It's not going to happen.
Or hear me out,
Are
Tom.
you going to say Bijan?
No, you trade the first-round pick for Derrick Henry.
No. Cut my life into pieces.
This is my last resort.
Ideally, I would like one of those corners. I would love a Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez.
One first for Derrick
Devin
Henry,
Witherspoon.
you wouldn't do it?
No.
Why not? He's the best running back in the league.
Yeah, it's the least valuable position outside of kickers and punters, and I guess long snappers.
So you're okay with drafting Bijan first round?
I would rather do neither. But if I trade for Derrick Henry, I think I've got him for 3 years, and that's it. And then he's getting cut.
Well, now's your Super Bowl window. Why not just go all in?
You're such a troll, Jeremy.
You literally said that. You said you need to go all in.
And Derrick Henry's not how you accomplish that.
Oh.
You're going to trade that first-round pick.
Getting one of the best players at a premium running back position.
There you go. Premium running back position. All right, from Mark, I think we should combine our 3, 4, 5 up in the second round. A solid free agent, number 1 pick, 2 number 2s. Our team set. Many backs than Zeke, better in the draft. It's a lot to give up. I wouldn't mind moving that other second, though, potentially, and trying to get something else in there. Maybe move a second every other year, something like that.
And Bloodslinger, we're definitely hitting this.
There you go.
We're definitely hitting this in the mailbag.
Have you seen any XFL players the Cowboys might get? Lenore, Gordon?
Josh Gordon!
Honestly, probably not. They might sign a couple players to fight for a roster spot, but the XFL is composed for them. There are always exceptions. You know, PJ Walker lasted a few years. It is composed of guys that couldn't make your roster already. So, we did this with the last time the XFL was here, and the USFL, the AF, whatever. It was like, sign this guy and start him. The answer is no. It's sign this guy and maybe he makes your practice squad.
DiNucci looks great.
Yes, that's the issue. He looks great in the XFL. Yeah, he's your 4th quarterback right now. It's fine. If you want to bring back DiNucci to be QB4, sure, that's fine, but he's not going to fix anything. So. All right, Joseph Rodriguez, would you draft Nolan Smith? I think in the event Nolan Smith gets to you, he's probably, if not at the top, near the top of the Cowboys board at that point. But I'm not thinking edge is your biggest need. So I wouldn't read too much into that there. G Sound, may Tyron Smith retire, make things simpler for the team. I think there's a great outcome of that. I know Brian Broaddus has mentioned that he thinks if Tyron got traded, he would just retire, and I think that's fairly accurate.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel like he just wants to. His body's old. He's not that old age-wise, but his body is.
You think he's gonna be able to move all that furniture to another city?
No, absolutely
no way.
not. So I think that in the end, yeah, he might just call it a career.
Pivot.
All right, Chris B. See, Diop hanging with Dez, going to be more sadness.
I was literally just telling
Tom. Jeremy did mention that. Hey, there's a lot of guys who work out and train in Dallas or Frisco. Don't get your hopes up.
Guys,
that's not a Cowboys
100%,
move.
This is what's going to happen. The more people that like this video, the more likely DeAndre Hopkins is to get traded to the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Hopkins and Lamb would be a fun 1-2 punch. I have very little faith in them actually doing something of that level.
What would entice you enough to do the Hopkins trade?
Well, I would like to do it. I just don't think they're going to.
Your first?
I don't think you have to give your first. I think your second and change gets it done.
Second and
4th or a 5th. Maybe it's a conditional pick.
Maybe sign David Johnson off the streets.
Yeah, and send that back too. Yeah, that makes sense.
Send that back to the Cardinals.
I don't. They're for those who are wondering, something big we're gonna. No, they're not. They are not.
Quick question before we start today's show. Also, come on, let's get up to 100 likes if we can.
We're almost at 69 likes.
Texans win that trade if they end up trading Hopkins?
No. Because didn't they take the TCU defensive lineman with that pick?
No, wasn't
that Ross Blacklock?
I think that was their first round.
I'm gonna pull it up here.
Maybe it was that pick. I don't know.
Who they also traded for then, like a 5th round pick, I think. Let me look it up here. Tell them why they should like the video, Jeremy, while I do this here.
Every time you like the video, that helps Tom put more food on his little baby's plate.
There
Little baby Olivia, she eats likes for dinner. That's all she does. So if you don't have a lot of likes, she's gonna go hungry tonight. A little girl in Dallas is gonna have an empty stomach if you don't like the video, because that's what she eats for dinner, is likes off of our Cowboys Live YouTube channel.
It was for the Ross Blacklock pick. FYI.
Tom, you did it again.
I did it again. I'm also pulling up the other pick that eventually got traded became Tyler Shelvin, another bad defensive tackle in the NFL. That wasn't made by Houston. They traded it eventually, but that's funny there. All right, like the video. If you want us to get today's show going, we're a couple. We can get it going whenever you're set up there, Jeremy. It was a nice little fun build-up session.
Let's just make sure that you're not muted.
Yeah, good call. Caleb Tarrant, I do see your super chat. We'll hit that on today's show or during the mailbag, which is part of what's coming up here. Cowboys rumors and news. Yes, we'll spend some time here on Ezekiel Elliott, a 7-round post-combine Cowboys mock draft. Cowboys trade ideas as well. Not mine. They're from Bleacher Reports. You're going to love them, which is why they're not going to happen when it's all said and done. So make sure you guys tune in for the entirety.
We can't have nice things.
No, we can't have nice. When was the last time that we had a nice thing, Jeremy?
1995?
See, I got him to answer a we question. That's why he's a true Cowboys fan.
Oh, you got me!
I got him!
Oh, no!
All right, that's all coming up here live. Jeremy's in shambles.
Oh, no. I said we.
I know. I got him good.
Are we,
yeah, just to have it. We'll see if we use it. But that's all coming up here live on today's Dallas Cowboys Report. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Combine is wrapped up, so we're back in the office and studio today here. We're going to begin with some rumors on today's show, but first we're going to have multiple videos, not just like 7 videos over 7 days. It'll be more like 10, 11, maybe even more, depending on what the Cowboys actually do in free agency. All right here. Hit that subscribe button right now for free Dallas Cowboys videos. We'll begin with what will be the top Cowboys story for the next week-ish, give or take, depending on when a move is actually made. It's on the future of Ezekiel Elliott. Will he be staying as a member of the Cowboys? I'm going 2 stars, just like we were on him not being here. I know Jerry Jones has made some significant public comments about, is he going to be back? Is he not going to be back? He wants him back, so says the one and only Jerry Jones. But I'm really not sure that I'm buying this. When it's all said and done. Jerry said he wants to keep Zeke, but I promise you, Elliott will not be back at his $10.9 million base salary. There's no way the Cowboys are going to get on board with doing that. Now, they're going to try to work out a major pay cut, and this does come in light of the news of Tony Pollard being franchise tagged by the Cowboys. He's making $10.1 million. From a cap hit perspective, you're investing something like $27 million at this moment in running backs, which is more than what you paid Dak last year, by the way, on the salary cap. But that number's not going to stay the same. It's going to be much, much cheaper for Elliott. And I get that Jerry's comments caused panic. I do think the timing there matters. I'm not sure at that point that Jerry had met with Zeke's agents, and there might have been just some playing nice publicly on that standpoint. Because in the end, this is still Zeke's taking a big pay cut to stay in Dallas, or he's gone. You are not going to pay Zeke a $10.9 million base salary. There's a 0% chance you do that. And frankly, if they do somehow, fire the organ of the sun. That's what you have to do. Because Elliott is not the same guy that he was at his prime. He's not. He's averaging basically 4 yards a carry the past 3 years. That's not good production. That is replacement level production that you can find from a Malik Davis, from somebody not even on the roster at this moment. It is a lot easier than people want to admit to find that to play. No, because he does a great job maximizing the short runs, but that's not a $10 million salary type of offer. It's simply not. So there will be change in this running back room for Dallas in 2023. Pollard's here. I'm not sold on Zeke. And given how great this running back draft class is, I bet they're going to take somebody maybe even earlier than you would want. So the pinned comment on today's show, will Ezekiel Elliott return to Dallas this upcoming season? Y for yes and for no. Get your predictions at the pinned comment, especially if the ad break comes here on YouTube. Let's go to our next rumor, also from Jerry in the bus that I'm not allowed on. And many of you also advocated for me to do bad things to, which my lawyers again advised me to disavow. 1 star on them doing something special in free agency. Want to know why? Because the Cowboys don't do anything special in free agency. How many times has Jerry Jones in some capacity said something resembling well, don't rule us out doing blank, and then blank never happens? The Cowboys trades, draft, free agency, paying somebody, not paying somebody. It's not something big from that standpoint. The Cowboys just haven't done anything in that category for a long time. That's just not how they operate. Now, the Cowboys are looking for another receiver, whether it is draft, free agency, trade, but here's exactly what Jerry Jones had to say. Don't dismiss us doing something special with the right veteran free agent. I do want to emphasize the free agent part there. Any place. I would in a New York minute if I think I think that it fits a lot of what I'm sitting here talking about. If it fits us more than a short-term solution for us. All right. I'll believe it when I see it. Because they've had chances before to do something special in free agency. And they've done it a long time ago. Not so much, and Steven took over with more power here. Last real one was Brandin Carr. And they thought that was such a bad deal, even though it honestly wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. Because I think they were almost more burned by Nnamdi Asomugha being a disaster when they tried to pay him, and Philadelphia beat them for that they're skittish in free agency, and it continues to show in their philosophy. We'll go more in depth on this and who maybe Jerry thinks could be something special. But first, today's show is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and I wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. Once I've got baby Olivia set up with her breakfast, I make my own AG1. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning anymore, and I feel energized throughout the day. Plus, AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be any easier. That's why I trust Athletic Greens. I mix one small scoop of AG1 with water or apple juice some mornings and drink it first thing. I'm done like that, and I like that it costs less than $3 a day. It's a pretty good deal, if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. That's a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I will remind you guys, the link is in the comment section and the description of today's show. The travel packs are perfect if you are, I don't know, for example, on the road in Indianapolis at the NFL Combine, not able to have your normal stuff there. So that's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Let's talk Odell Beckham again, since Jerry would probably describe this as doing something special, although the current version of OBJ is not what you'd, I think, define something special here. The Cowboys do want another playmaker, whether it's draft, free agency, trade. I think one of their biggest assets, picks, or money is going to be spent on a receiver, maybe even a tight end. There's a great tight end class in round 1 this year. But I don't think OBJ qualifies as something special anymore. He's coming off the injury. Jerry says he still had some communication there. It's fairly quiet from the team side at this point. So honestly, I wouldn't get too attached to Odell Beckham. Look, if you want to try it, cool, let's try it. You're doing something, I guess. But I also wonder how much that really fixes your issues at wide receiver. So do you want OBJ? Because now you're in full-on free agency. Maybe you want to sign someone bigger. OBJ for yes, you want to add Odell Beckham. No BJ for no. You'd rather pass on the once best receiver in the NFL who has battled injuries in recent years. Let's talk receivers here. How about a trade for one Allen Robinson? I'll give this 1 star. And it's also like 1 star my desire to acquire him. The Rams are shopping Allen Robinson amid the just bad year he had this past season. It was not a good showing from Allen Robinson, from just overall play, production, all of it. And I don't think he's going to treat the Cowboys that much. He's due $15.25 million this year, has a non-guaranteed salary of $10.75 million next year, plus a roster bonus that would become guaranteed that they could cut him before they would owe it to him if they needed to. He has not been the guy that he was at his best with the Bears and Jags. And now he's entering his age 30 season. They're about making that happen. $15 million is a little bit less than they wanted to pay Brandin Cooks, who they didn't get that deal done, and Cooks was better than A-Rob was last year. All of that raises real red flags for me. We'll go more in depth on this, but first, since you know, trades are fun, and the Cowboys, well, it'd be nice if they made one there. Name a player you want to trade for. Any player, any position, just please be realistic. Drop it for me in the comments section right now. The last 2 years from Allen Robinson, here's your wild, true statement of the day. Noah Brown has been better. Let that sink in for a second. 339 yards this past year in a bunch of games, 410 in 2021. He has not played very well for the Bears or the Rams these last 2 seasons. And I'm not interested in paying a bunch of money salary-wise for a guy that I think it's a very real question mark how much he really has left in the tank at this point. Final news item here, a Terence Steele's tender has been made official, a second round tender. I thought that they might go with the first round tender. They go a little bit cheaper there. It's 4.3 this year. It's like 6.01-ish had they gone the first round tender. My suspicion is the Cowboys think because Steele's coming out that torn ACL that they'll be able to get him, and teams are going to make a big offer for a guy coming off the injury. I think they will try to work out a longer-term deal. Reminds me of when they got one done with Blake Jarwin. Hopefully works out better than the Jarwin deal. That one was very backloaded, and they didn't really pay him that much before they moved on from him. But Steele will be back in Dallas. The second round tender, the way it works, teams can make an offer sheet to Terence Steele if they want to. The Cowboys can then match that offer or get a second-round pick back in exchange. I think the Cowboys prefer just to pay Steele because there is a lack of competent offensive line talent around the NFL, and Steele has shown he can be a potential starter in the NFL. So I bet he's back in Dallas next year. All right, what is your confidence level? All things. We've got some super chats we can hit here too, Jeremy, as we... Oh, shots too. Confidence level in the Cowboys. 1 to 10 is your scale. Get those votes in while we'll get the super chats here, then shots. Caleb Tarrant, if the best O-line and the best receiver fell, which one? So you're talking either Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson, Addison, JSN, Quentin Johnston. Pick one for me. I'm going offensive line because I just think they're better players. From a need perspective, I'd rather have a receiver because I think you need more help there at this moment. But Skoronski and Johnson are better players, ignoring the position than the Addison, JSN, Johnston trio. So I'm going O-line there because those guys are going to be gone top 15. Joseph Rodriguez signed Michael Turk, the punter. As a UDFA, I mean, if you want, but you have Brian Anger, you paid him. I don't really think that's a route they'll go that much. From CD's Nuts, pay prime Everson Walls today. What's his contract? Highest paid corner in the NFL. So, 4 years, $21 million per year. Maybe you go 5, 21, make $100 million man. Somewhere in that range. If you knew you were getting prime Everson Walls, yeah, I think he'd be highest paid corner. Timothy Morris, $10 super chat. Let's get some shots here, too. Allen Robinson is slept on. Matthew Stafford was Cooper Kupp or bust. Dak had a history of making wide receivers look better than what they see. Wilson, Cobb, and others. So you're not wrong, especially on that last part of Wilson and Cobb, and I would argue Dalton Schultz, too, getting better production. Noah Brown falls in that category than what their talent level maybe suggests. Now, wasn't all Stafford this past year for the Rams, but Robinson also has had 2 straight years of not great pay, and you're paying a premium to hopefully get that guy back. Now, teams want the Rams to eat some money. If you get him for a late-round pick and they eat most of it, maybe that's more appealing. But this is not the same A-Rob that we saw at his best with the Chicago Bears. The thing that was always in favor of A-Rob, right? He's quarterback-proof. Well, last 2 years he hasn't been. And that's very concerning to me because it makes me wonder if it's less the quarterback side and more of the current standpoint side that runs into issues at this point. But Timothy, it's a great question. Thank you very much for the $10. Here comes Jeremy with the shots. We'll have Sperry move. Thanks, Jugs. Great timing, my friend. We got more supers, too. Why? Has he muted me to start?
No. Look at his production.
Oh, well, someone else can step in then. That's fine.
Oh, I didn't even think about me wearing a green shirt today.
Jeremy. He's wearing green, so he's invisible.
That's actually good, so you can still read the super chat.
That actually worked out very well. Cheers. It's for 69 in supers. Bottoms up. Cheers. Woo! All right, let's hit these other supers then, in case you do get pulled off. Wasn't closed, Jeremy. Got to be careful. All right. Yeah, I just don't want it to get in the shot somehow. All right, thank you, Timothy, for your $10 super chat. Next up on our super chat order, it is, once again, CD's Nuts. Signed D-Hop, second round, and 3 years, 7. What's the average on that deal? I can't do math like that. 23, it maybe gets done. Roll a tight end group, release Zeke, get offensive guard, first round, cornerback, third round, nose tackle, linebacker, fourth and fifth, quarterback in the 6th round. You're in better shape. I do wonder if the Cowboys would do step number 1. It's also a great tight end class, if that intrigues you at all. But I think the overall philosophy is pretty valuable there. Some more super chats coming, but we'll hit. It's further down in there. We can go to another super chat if you want instead while you search for it. It's just not in order because we had to add it late. We got Timothy. Let's go to Chris B. Watch them sign Kenny Golladay for the cheap big move. Kenny Golladay got what? It's like 13 catches, something ridiculous, like just an obscene amount of money that never ever paid off. So I am inclined to agree with you, my friend. Watch them sign Kenny Golladay for a cheap big move. I would be very upset if that's the route that they went, because that's not doing anything for you. Give me some speed if you're going to go the cheaper route, right? Now, we have launched a new NFL draft-focused YouTube channel. Put that link in the comment section for you guys, youtube.com/@chatnfl. We put a bunch of the combine interviews that we had up on the channel. Go check it out. If you love the NFL draft like I do, now is the time to go subscribe. It's still in its early stages of growing from that standpoint there, but it's going to have mock drafts, analysis, trade rumors, in-depth breakdowns of draft needs for all 32 teams. But we need your help to grow. And that would be great if it was a Cowboys-focused draft channel when it's all said and done. I want to have more Cowboys fans than anyone else on that channel. So go subscribe, youtube.com/chatnfl. Links in the comments section and the description of today's video. All right, Jerome Nichols, $5. If we're going to sign Landry Lazard or Paris Campbell, don't believe they can help us. You get what you pay for. I would rank them in reverse-ish order of what you have them. Campbell, Lazard, and Landry. Landry's old. I think he's borderline washed. Alan Lazard is younger, but he's slow, and I'm tired of slow blocking, bigger-bodied receivers. No, give me a fast guy. Campbell's fast, but he's not a great route runner. He's got decent size, but he's been a slot mainly. Campbell has something resembling higher upside. So I agree. I'd like more than that. Give me Campbell of those 3 there in the end. All right, Joseph Rodriguez signed Tom Downey to play wide receiver, Super Bowl bound. How many snaps do I get through before my body dies?
I would lock up Tom if he was wide receiver and I was corner.
You would not lock me up.
It would be Chug's Island. I would have Tom in the clamps.
I run my routes like Renfro, baby. Not a chance. Not a chance. Now, once I get hit by an NFL player,
Tom's routes are about as smooth as I-35.
Butter. There you go. No, how many? Honest question. How many snaps could you survive in an NFL game before you got hurt?
Before I got hurt? I mean, it depends on what position I'm playing.
Let's say you're playing offensive line. So that's what.
Offensive line, probably like 3.
3? Okay.
Probably like 1 or 2. Hopefully they're pass plays and I just get burned.
You just get burned?
And then as soon as we have a run play and I'm in the middle, if I'm guard, I'm getting just destroyed.
See, for a receiver, it's the second the ball goes your way.
Yes.
Then you're dead. All right, thank you, Joseph, from the past master.
Oh, no. Tom would not get the head top on me. I would lock Tom down. It would be like white on rice, mac on cheese. It would be like nothing available.
I'd smoke
Tom
him.
would not get a single catch on me.
I'd smoke him.
I guarantee you that.
Doubt.
I guarantee you that.
Past master stopping by, Tom. If it's a trade for a wide receiver, I go for Keenan Allen. If it's a free agent, I go for Juju. Keep up the great work. #RealOne. Thank you, past master. I wonder if Allen's still going to get cut. We'll know more in the coming days.
Sounds like it.
Khalil Mack might. They got to do something there with those big back-end contracts. I'd like some speed, but Allen gets open, so I take him over Juju. Lance Dunbar, pick one. Denzel Mims or Galladay? Is Mims getting cut? Because if so, I'm taking Mims. Is Mims costing me a late day 3 pick? I'm taking Mims. If they're asking for a 4th still or more, then I'm out. From Jeremy Chuggs' burner, offer every free agent vet min and just see what happens.
This has been the Cowboys' plan the past couple years.
They lowball everybody.
I mean,
then they come back and go, okay, we'll meet you.
If I told you this is what the Cowboys did last offseason, would you be surprised?
It's almost what they did, except they gave Dante Fowler a little bit more.
Dante Fowler's agent said, yes, but can we get a little bit more? Jerry said,
Here's literally a couple $1 million.
Let me go check the fridge. I got to see how much pie's left. Maybe I can give you a little bit of a bigger piece.
That is what it is there.
Of the pie.
All right, Timothy Morris, another $10 super chat here. What is a realistic contract for Parsons, Diggs, and Lamb? I think Lamb, and we did this on our extension candidates for Diggs and Lamb, so go check it out. Diggs is probably the more tricky one. He'll probably want $20 million and change. Cowboys might offer 16.5. Might be a franchise tag path they're going down there. Parsons is highest paid defensive player in the NFL. That's what it is. CeeDee Lamb is probably a little bit more than A.J. Brown got. So, 5 years, $25.5 million per year.
I don't know. I mean, have teams figured out Micah Parsons? He didn't really do a lot in that playoff game.
The last playoff game, he still gets pressures though. He's still great.
He's okay.
He's the most sacks through your first 2 years. You're gonna get the bag.
He's no Hassan Reddick, but
he's gonna get the bag because he also showed up so great in that last playoff game. Timothy Morris, would Frank Clark be a good move for the Cowboys? Impactful DT. He's a pass rusher. If you want to have, I think he's not a defensive tackle. If you want to go about your extra edge spot in terms of like how you replace Dante Fowler, I think you sign somebody who's never gonna hurt you in the comp pick process. So as a cut candidate, Frank Clark would make sense there. You just plug one in, have him have a nice year as like edge number 3 when they're getting a bunch of one-on-one matchups. Let him leave and then just fill somebody else in back end every year. That's the route I'd go. So if Clark wants to play cheap, sure. Not sure he wants to. Ecuador Man OG, what contract does wide receiver Woods get in your opinion? There are 2 lines of thought here. One, the Titans' offense was garbage. You can't blame Woods. Other one being, has it been clear signs of decline past 4 years? He might not be what he was. I think anything more than 1 year, $5 million is going to be a way too big of a deal for Woods in the end. From Mark, who will realistically be there for us in round 1 and 2, will make a difference on this team. No more of these Joseph and Wright picks. Eagles blow. I love the extra shot at you there.
You would. Classless.
Oh, yeah, you're talking to me about classless. Okay, Jeremy. Look, I think it depends on how the board falls, but there will be receivers and corners, I think, in both rounds that can help you. Offensive guard checks that box, and I think running back does too. There's a lot of different guys. I think you're avoiding players like maybe Eli Ricks, Akili Ringo at corner who have upside, but, are kind of risky picks there. Jeremy Chuggs is burning to sign the player who stripped Hurts.
I'm glad you brought this up, my burner. That was a face mask. That was a face mask on the defensive player. Should not have counted.
Should not have counted. Let me go watch it again.
I'm just saying.
See, now I need to watch it again.
I'm
pulling it up right now here. I'm pulling it up right now. In the meantime, let's go to our next super chat, Jeremy. Read that one off for me.
Vinzilla, Chosen Anderson, LOL. I get there are issues with him, but he's never had a good QB, and he offers speed.
That's Chosen, a.k.a. Robbie Anderson. Vince calling him by his proper name. He's fast. That's kind of it in the problem. I don't think he's good at football. So I'm not really in on that one. I've also rewatched the play, Jeremy. Cap.
That was a face mask.
Also, it's not really. I wouldn't say like he stripped him. Like Hurts just dropped the ball. Like that was not a strip. He maybe grazes the bottom of the face mask, but not nearly enough that it should be called. Not a flag, Jeremy.
I'm
Cope-Harter.
He grabs his jersey like right here.
Cope-Harter.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I'm sure you can. Let's go to the next super chat here from Past Master. If anyone, I'm going for Bates III. It's Jesse Bates III or Jordan Poyer. I doubt the Cowboys would go big at safety. Those are two good names. I think they'll try to re-sign Donovan Wilson before that all gets done there. Another super chat from Mark, my guy. Happy to have you here, Mark. Always enjoy. We took your shots earlier. Diggs is good, but think he's that good. Or the number 2 sucks so much they don't test him. Need quality over quantity this draft. Getting Jeremy's tea. There you go, Jeremy. He's getting you some tea.
Thank you, Mark.
There you go. For the back half of this year, yeah, the number 2 spot was so bad, they did not even look Diggs' way. Absolutely the way that it was there. Oh, Jeremy made a quick edit. Go ahead and throw it in there, Chugs.
I can edit anything.
See, here's the problem, Jeremy. He's actually not making contact with the face mask here. That's the wrong angle. His hand is over the face mask, but it's not actually in or grabbing it. It goes straight down. He's not grabbing it, Jeremy.
It. What are you talking about?
You're still so triggered by the game.
Oh my God.
Jeremy, I will send you the video.
You are blinded by your hatred.
Jeremy, you're so triggered by the loss and the shambleness of it that a month later now, you're not over it. Even though the video of it, because why we're doing bad angled screen grabs, I don't know. The video, there's no contact. The hand goes straight down.
I'm watching it right now.
I sent you the exact timestamp.
I'm watching it.
Not a face mask, Jeremy.
He grabs it.
He does not. Go back to complaining about the DPI instead of inventing more things to be upset about.
Tom, I'm really disappointed in you because you know.
Everyone type Cope.
You know as well as me it wasn't DPI, it was holding.
Yes, holding. Sorry. I'm glad you admit that it was a flag, though.
It was not.
You just said it was holding. Ecuador man AOG, Cam Smith or Forbes if both available.
F you, Tom.
I know, Jeremy. Everyone type Cope in the comments. Tricky one. Both going to be graded fairly similar. I think I just go for broke and just gamble on Forbes. He's got fantastic ball skills. He's 166, and he played it that way, too, at Mississippi State. I would be fine with either guy. I think they're at best CB5 for me this year, but that's the gamble I think you'd end up doing there. All right, that's all the Super Chats. We're caught up there. Let's get set up now for the next segment. We'll do a 7-round mock draft for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
What did you say?
I was making sure
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Got to be quicker on the draw there. This next part is correct, so I assumed that you were good to go. My bad.
I wanted to make sure the sponsor.
That's my bad. It's okay.
It's NFL Draft channel.
We're doing it live. This is the Cowboys Report, a post-combine 7-round mock draft coming your way. If you want more mock drafts with trades in the future, show my bosses that it's something that we should do. Share this video right now. If we get 50-ish shares, we'll do a mock draft with trades for our next one. Before we get to the Cowboys pick in round 1, some players who were off the board. Nolan Smith, Osiris Torrance, the top 4 receivers, most recently Jordan Addison and Zay Flowers are gone. Bijan Robinson also taken, so cross him off your list. And yeah, I don't have to do the running back pick, which always kind of concerns me there. So round 1, pick number 26, I'll go with the combine winner. How about Deonte Banks, the cornerback from Milan? I know I got him in round 2 of our last mock draft. He ain't going to be there for you. I also used the PFF similar to make it more different this time around. I think at this point, a little bit more accurate looking through the rankings at this stage. Banks' production was pretty good this year. He wasn't a full-time player, which was kind of weird. They rotated him more than I thought they should have. But he fits well with Trayvon Diggs. He's not the high-risk, high-reward ball skill type of guy, but he does offer some good coverage and really some more lockdown stuff there. I would be on board with Banks in round 1. Look, I'm not finished with all my stuff yet. I won't be until much closer to the draft. But I would say beyond your big 3 corners of Joey Porter Jr., Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, Banks is number 4 for me. I don't know if he's going to be there. I would not be surprised if 4 corners get taken. But Banks at 26, I think, is both a realistic and a quality outcome. Just got to get a little bit less grabby. 8 flags this year has to be checked out. Unlike Diggs, though, he's a damn good tackler. He's a very quality run support player, which, again, I think fits really well with what you have in Trayvon Diggs. It's a good complementary piece at the other cornerback spot. Some others who were on the board. I really thought about going tight end here because all the tight ends fell. And if Kincaid and Michael Mayer are there, I know that you'd like your other tight ends. Why I didn't do it? You got to consider it. The wide receiver spot was fairly limited. It was a little bit trimmed down. Josh Downs was the next best option. Drew Sanders, the linebacker, Mozzie Smith. So with the guards being gone, I kind of defaulted to the next best cornerback. We have launched, folks, a new NFL Draft YouTube channel. Channel has you covered all the latest mock drafts, analysis, draft trade rumors. We'll do different mock drafts, different needs. We need your help, though, to grow this channel by subscribing. You're not going to find a better source on YouTube for all your NFL draft needs. Simply put, more subscribers equals more videos. It's a meritocracy here at Chat Sports. So go to youtube.com/chatnfl and subscribe. Link is at the bottom of your screen, but it's also in the comments and the description of today's video. It'll actually be at the pinned comment to make your lives a little bit easier. Go subscribe. The more Cowboys fans we get over there, the more Cowboys-focused draft videos we can do too. youtube.com/chatnfl. Players taken round 2. Number 57, Joe Tippmann, center from Wisconsin. Darnell Wright, Josh Downs, Dan Henley, my guy. Darnell Washington, who I think is going to go earlier, but that would have been nice to have from that standpoint. So I was very surprised Wright or Downs fell that far. Not the Cowboys' MO, but it'd be interesting. So with this, what I consider the second best center gone, I'll take the best one, John Michael Schmitz out of Minnesota. Now, you're going, center, we have Biadasz. Yes, I do think you would be able to play John Michael Schmitz at guard. And the big reason why I have that mindset is what Schmitz told me at the NFL Combine about how he thinks he could play guard and how he had a conversation. The clip we're about to play here, I asked him how his meeting went. The part about guard, he answered unprompted, which makes me think he and the Cowboys talked about playing guard. Take a listen.
Yeah. Cowboys had a good interview with him. It went really well. I mean, just anything they need for me as a player, if it's a center or guard, I'm willing to do that. My leadership, bring that leadership, set that tone, my toughness, and that grit factor I'm going to bring whatever team I'm drafted. So, yeah.
So I am reading between the lines there a little bit on that front from John Michael Schmitz, but unprompted makes me think they had that conversation. Maybe he's your guard for a year, long-term center if you want to pay Biadasz. I think talent-wise, he's going to be a top 50-ish player, so good value there. Didn't have his best year ever at Minnesota, had some up and down play, but he's a very intelligent player. Not the best athlete either, which I think is worth mentioning, but we're still talking above average athleticism. And if you're going to invest on the offensive line, Cowboys have a very good track record of finding good players, whether it be round 1 is their best success, but if you get 4 years, 5 years as a starting day 2, day 3 pick, that ends up being pretty good. Some others who were on the board, 2 running backs, Zach Charbonnet, Devon Achane. You tagged Pollard, so I'll pass on it back for now. I wouldn't mind Tank Dell. That'd be fun. He ain't going to be there for you, or I don't think you're going to take him there because he's just too small for the Cowboys' preferences. Jack Campbell would be your Leighton Vander Esch, quite literally replacement. They tested very similarly. Derek Hall, they showed interest in the combine, edge rusher, but I don't want to take a premium edge in round 2. All right, who do you guys want the Dallas Cowboys to draft? Could be any round, could be early, could be, round 2, round 3. If you go deeper in that, I'll just be impressed for naming a later round draft pick. Name a player you want the Cowboys to take in this year's draft. All right, notable guys off the board, round 3. A.T. Perry, Cedric Tillman, my guy Tyler Scott. Oh, how I wish I could have gotten him. Tajay Spears, Sam Laporta would have been a great pick in round 3. But it's a great running back class, so let's take one here. How about Tank Bigsby out of Auburn? Did not rush for 1,000 yards. Thanks Auburn's offense for being a complete dumpster fire. Good after contact stuff. He's not a burner, and that showed up in his testing. It was only a 4.56. His 10-yard split, the burst was really good, though, out of Tank Bigsby. 179 carries, 970 yards, 5.4 average, 10 touchdowns. If you're looking to replace Zeke, which I think this team will be, Bigsby's a quality option in that late day 2, early day 3 range there. It's a great running back class, kind of why I'm fine just cutting Zeke, because I can get somebody later on that could, honestly, I would bet Bigsby averages more than 4 yards a carry next year. Better than what Zeke gave you. Some other guys who are on the board, Michael Wilson from Stanford was there if you want a bigger body outside wide receiver. Luke Schoonmaker, they met with him at the Combine too. Nick Herbig is that, well, he's Zach Bond. He's Zach Bond all over again. DeMarvion Overshown at linebacker. Dwayne McBride out of UAB. So options there for the Cowboys in the later parts of the third round, but I'm going Bigsby there pretty easily. Fourth round, I did not get a receiver yet, so we'll pretend that I signed somebody too. But I also took Bryce Ford Wheaton out of West Virginia. Heavy emphasis, by the way, on great guys who tested well at the Combine, right? The production has been not the best from Bryce Ford Wheaton, but the height, weight, speed profile that I know the Cowboys like is certainly there. Now, his production, you're thinking 10.9 yards carry. Okay, you're going, he's a bit more of maybe a bigger bodied possession guy. Well, he's actually super fast. He ran a 4.38 unofficial there at 6'4", 221. Athletic upside is awesome. And I think a better quarterback than he had at West Virginia makes him an appealing, I think he could easily go in the third round, top 100 when it's all said and done. All right, other guys who were also on the board, Dorian Williams. Luke Schoonmaker fell again, but I'm going to wait on tight ends because I want to prioritize receiver there. Moro Ojomo, Jacorian Bennett. I can't go two straight Maryland corners, but he was also pretty good. Carl Brooks was the biggest Combine snub at a Bowling Green, but I had to get a receiver at some point. It was going on far too long not taking one at that point. So what is the biggest need for the Cowboys? Let's say come draft time. Is it going to be receiver? Is it going to be cornerback? Is it going to be offensive line? Something else altogether? Drop that position. Can't say owner in the comment section. Round 5. Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion. Now, this is a very appealing NFL draft prospect. 5th round, I got him here. He is coming off, and we're actually going to show you his 2021 stats, when he averaged 9.5 yards per catch and 692 yards, 5 touchdowns. The numbers this past year were not nearly as good because he only played in 5 games. And you know what? We're trying to explain why people have an interest, so we'll be a little bit nicer on that standpoint. I am intrigued by him adding a freak athlete at tight end in what is a very good draft class. Got to take one at some point because that's just... You're getting great value at that point for Dallas. We will have more Cowboys coverage for you right here on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos, somewhere in the 10 to 11 per range, or 10 to 11 videos per week range, excuse me. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Eventually I figure out what I was trying to say. Hit that sub button right now. All right, what are your many round 5 picks? So we'll go quicker here since it's day 3. No one cares as much. Jalen Redmond, another athletic Oklahoma defensive tackle. Medical red flags got to be checked out here. The production was okay. Tested very, very well for a player his size at the Combine. I wouldn't mind trying to find more juice in the interior of that defensive line spot. Maybe Redmond can be your day 3 athletic upside sleeper. Same exact spot, but edge rusher for DJ Johnson out of Oregon. The production was never quite what it should be for a player of his athletic gifts, but if anyone's going to maximize him, I'm going to go with Dan Quinn being the guy to get that sorted out there. Decent pressure rate, not as many sacks as you would like or you would think. He was one of the top Bruce Feldman freaks, and that was proven at the Combine from a testing perspective. I don't mind taking an edge on day 3 and see if it ends up being a nice piece long term. So will the Cowboys make any draft trades? Y for yes, N for no. They got a bunch of picks. They're in line to get a few comp picks as well. Let me know in the comments. Y for yes, N for no. Round 6, I'll go with the quarterback here because I'm doing something special in round 7 just for you guys. Clayton Tune out of Houston, a little bit of an older, prospect not that old. Fairly decent production. I think you're looking in that day 3 range. Somebody who can maybe be a backup quarterback for you. Really great production the past 2 years. A big factor being the type of offense he was playing in. And that's a massive jump from 2020 to 2021. Huge step forward. Got better again this year. The physical traits are not the best, but it is for late day 3, no such thing as a bad pick. Even going kicker late day 3 isn't. I did it for you guys. I did it just for you because I know we're going to get questions someday. I took a kicker for you. Jake Moody out of Michigan. If you take someone in round 7, that's fine because you're not actually committing that much. Please don't take him in the 4th round because Cade York wasn't that good this year, and I thought York was actually a very good kicker. I drafted a kicker just for you guys. I will be honest. When I saw the mustache, I almost changed my mind. I don't think it looks very good at all, but I did go a kicker at the back end in the 7th round here. So grade this mock draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. You can be honest. Sound off in the comments section. All right, I'll give some shout-outs here, too. Let's see. A kicker. Yeah, I did a kicker for you. C, D. I will say this was less broken of a mock draft than the ones we've done in the past, where you're getting, the 3rd round pick in the 6th round. Not as broken, so the grades won't be as higher, and that's fine.
I went ahead and took Tank Dell in the 6th round.
Yes. Who says no?
Brokave, I dare you to take punter.
I will not, because you have a punter already.
Pretty low grades. C, B, B minus, C, B, C, D, B, C minus, B minus.
Fine. It's because I got Banks in the 2nd round last time, and I go 1st round this time. I get it. It's a much more realistic mock draft, though.
You either die a hero,
or you live long to see yourself become the vision. There you go.
The villain.
There you go. All right, some super chats at those here. Then we'll get to our actual mailbag. Or you want to put him in the mailbag? You want to hit him now, Jeremy?
We can hit him. We have so many supers. I'm just going to pick out the best super chats to go in the mailbag.
Good call.
Because we won't be able to fit them all in there. Giggity.
So it'll probably be like a couple of actual questions. So
yeah,
better super chat.
Obviously, I know not everybody can super, so I'm still going to try to pick a couple non-super chat questions just to get some people in there. But I'm going to pick out the best super chat questions for the mailbag. So let's just go ahead and hit these before. Yeah. We have a really good one from Rashad Lee coming up.
Good. Joseph Rodriguez, if Mike does bad, would you hire Lincoln Riley? He's not leaving USC. I don't think
the Cowboys?
I don't think he would, no. I think the whole purpose of going to USC was to be there for a long time.
Okay, there you go. Yep. Tom does, in fact, have crack right there.
I'm still unconvinced he was going to leave Oklahoma. You can try, but I don't think – I'm not sure he's jumping.
He would leave Oklahoma, and then he
for the NFL,
Oklahoma.
For the NFL.
You don't think
those top-end college jobs –
Jack, you think Lincoln Riley would leave USC for the Cowboys job in a heartbeat?
Look, go try. He's on the list. Absolutely.
Absolutely make the call.
He's got a pretty good gig though right now.
Harry, back me up.
Harrison's busy.
Harry, back me up. Lincoln Riley would leave USC in a heartbeat for the Cowboys job.
See, that's what I said. Harrison knows ball.
I honestly think if he undoubtedly wanted that job, he might have it by now.
I think so too. Harrison says he thinks if Lincoln wanted the job, he would have it already.
Now, if Jerry was we'll give you $20 million a year, I'm sure he'd take it, but I don't think he would just automatically jump ship. Yeah.
He's not one to leave programs in a steadily haste. So
he would take the call. He would consider it.
There you go. All right, thank you, Joe. So let's get to Rashard Lee's super chat here, then we'll start our mailbag. Does pineapple belong on pizza? On 3?
Well, I have a certain take on this, so there's a yes and a no for me.
Okay, let's hear the take then.
So my take, pineapple belongs on shitty pizza. If you're getting pizza from Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, pineapple, go for it. Do it. I like pineapple on pizza, I think that's good. If I'm at a nice pizza place or an upscale Italian restaurant, I'm definitely not getting pineapple on my pizza. It's a shitty pizza topping.
My answer is just no in the end. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
I just don't think so.
I'm just saying, if I go to a nice pizza place, I'm not getting pineapple on it.
That's
if
fair.
I'm going to Papa John's or just like a chain, then I'll go for it.
Okay. That's fine.
That's my take. I stand by it. Sue me.
All right, as we get set up for our mailbag here, we are doing math, $26 away from another round of shots. So if we get there, hey, we'll do more shots.
And
Appreciate
we're just
that.
a couple subs away from taking the lead.
Oh, yeah?
From y'all taking the lead. I
Did we again. We got him again.
From y'all taking the lead on our NFL Draft channel. We want to see which team represents the most for our NFL Draft channel. We'll be doing draft content up until the 2023 NFL Draft. Tom, did I miss anything in that?
Just make sure you go subscribe, youtube.com/chatnfl. Building that channel up, we need a lot more subscribers. We need your guys' help to make that a full-time channel here. Let me do even more draft stuff in the end. youtube.com/@chatnfl. One note before we begin today's mailbag here. You can use #Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the show. Now, we've got a lot of Super Chats, Jeremy. So, outside of maybe a couple non-Super Chats, and there are Super Thanks you have to get to as well. It's going to be pretty heavily just Super Chats. So, if you want your question answered, make sure you get them on using that Super Chat feature. Otherwise, get going over there with #Cowboys.
Nelson, when I was a boy, we didn't have time to debate pineapple on pizza. We didn't even know what pineapple was, you pansies.
I think you should have known.
We were too busy building the roadways that paved America.
Put that link in the for the NFL Draft channel too in the comments for me, Sperry.
Oh.
Yeah. I got you covered, Willie Key. It's going in there right now. It's also in the comments, by the way. It's youtube.com/chatnfl. All right, mailbag coming up here. I'm excited for it, Jeremy.
Ooh, we have a little deal for you for our sponsor for this one.
Yes, we do.
Very exciting.
You'll see. You'll see what it is in a little bit.
Seatman is pumped.
Of course he is. That's up his alley
That
there.
little leprechaun.
Get your questions in. At this point, it's going to mostly be Super Chats if you want to get on the show here. Welcome into the Cowboys Report mailbag time. I am Tom Downey answering all of your questions live here on the Cowboys Report. And there were a couple Super Chats, or a lot of Super Chats. There are also Super Thanks. We're going to get to it. We begin with a $50 Super Thanks from Mark Clark. Excellent selections and contacts for each. Keep up the good work. Or contracts for each. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate the massive $50 Super Thanks that either beats or ties the biggest Super Thanks here at the Cowboys Report. You are awesome. Everyone show Mark some love in the comment section. Just type in Mark. Pretty straightforward there. Appreciate you, Mark, and appreciate you being subscribed here and supporting us at the Dallas Cowboys Report. From Jeremy Chuggs' Burner, a Super Thanks. And you guys do the best job in business of interacting with fans while also delivering great contact. Chuggs say balls. #Babymaker.
Balls.
There we go. Thank you, Jeremy Chuggs' Burner. We appreciate that. And like what we do, make sure you guys are subscribed. Super Thanks. If you don't know what that is, allow me to explain. It's a feature outside of live videos. In the past, you could only donate via Super Chat Live. But on demand, you can do Super Thanks. You click the thanks icon. It's got the heart with the $sign in the middle of it. Edit your message, send it in. We appreciate your support. So any Super Thanks that comes in, just like we do Super Chats, we will give you a shout-out. Cowboy 4L, 1 CeeDee Lamb, 2 Jordan Addison, 3 Kevontae Turpin, mixing T.Y. Houston and Fayoko. Which looks trading up for Addison. Chris Brett running speed and size. He doesn't have great size. He is frankly undersized. Didn't test as well as I thought he was going to, but he's still a really good football player. The official size was 5'11", 1/8, 171. It's not that big. Didn't test the way I was expecting him to. That's okay. But he's very crisp route runner. I liked what he did at both Pitt and at USC. Turpin's not going to be wide receiver 3, but hey, it's fine. I'm not going to trade up for him. If he slides to you at 26, let's ride. Jay Smooth, what about drafting Josh Downs, receiver from North Carolina? I like what Josh Downs offers as a slot receiver. Actually, fairly similar sizes. He's a little bit shorter, 5'9", 171 than Addison. Faster, though, 4.48, I believe was the 40-yard dash time. That is much smaller than what the Cowboys would typically do at receiver. They like their bigger-bodied guys. So I have interest, especially in round 2. I'm not sure that's going to be the most likely outcome in terms of the Cowboys actually taking him. Now, if they don't sign someone big or trade for someone, Cowboys will draft a receiver. I have no doubts about that. So name a wideout who you want the Cowboys to go out and draft. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know who you want to take at wide receiver. Super chat time from Blood Slinger. Worried about McCarthy calling plays. Wasn't a couple years ago, didn't even know the offensive playbook. That was last year. Allegedly last year. So the terminology is not going to change. I hope it leads to just more consistent. It can be, if it's a more consistent top 6 offense than like inconsistent top 3, might be better results in the end. Antoine Daniels, seeing Pollard being franchised, I think Zeke will be released and replaced in the upcoming draft. We'll see what happens with Zeke. If he is back, it'll be at a pay cut. If I had to guess one way, I think they cut him, but it's kind of more of a toss-up there. I think they draft someone either way, though, because it's a good running back class. Joseph Rodriguez, how do you feel about drafting Marvin Mims and Eric Gray, 2 Oklahoma boys, receiver, running back, respectively? Mims has speed. I need speed. I got no issues there. Maybe in the 3rd-ish round. Eric Gray maybe a round later if you're lucky. Great running back class, by the way. Gray is one of the quality players this year. Chris B. After Jerry's combine comments, I'm more convinced we ain't going to do squat in free agency, but have a strong draft to fill all the holes we're going to have. You better get really lucky on day 3 with instant impact guys, or else you're not going to have all your holes filled in the end. From Mark, if our you guys laugh, that's what he said. If our drafted OTs were any good, that's Josh Ball in particular. Matt, let's go so he does in year 2 with healthiness. We could have traded him, referring to Terence Steele. It says Tony Dorsett all the way. Thank you, Mark. I think they're going to give another shot, especially to Matt. Well, let's go as maybe the swing tackle there, but we'll wait and see. Joshua Ramsey, who's your ideal first-round pick? I'll phrase it as who's your CD Lamb this year? Guy that shouldn't fall to you. You'd be stunned if he would, and you're sprinting to put him with the selection. It's one of those corners. Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez, or Devin Witherspoon. In the end, I am mostly unconvinced that they will be there for you when it's all said and done. All right, Blood Slinger. Have you seen any XFL players the Cowboys might get? A Lenore, a Josh Gordon? I mean, here's the thing. Let's talk about Josh Gordon in particular. We know exactly who he is. It's not like Josh Gordon has suddenly gotten significantly better at football by making the switch over to the XFL. It's that he's playing against non-NFL caliber cornerbacks. So it has nothing really to do about, these guys are now better. It's that these guys weren't high-end NFL players, and now they're playing against non-high-end NFL players. So if you want to sign someone, sure, but we're talking about guys who are going to maybe compete for a back-end roster spot, not really contribute in any meaningful way to you outside of maybe one of the, 200 players that could maybe get a shot. The odds are, don't get your hopes up. G-Sound, could Tyron Smith retire and make things simpler for the team? Very possible that's a route that they end up pursuing there. I wouldn't say it's a guarantee, but maybe there's a pay cut option. I don't think he's back at his current contract. I know what the Joneses have said publicly. Seems a little bit more like it's an example of them trying to publicly do right by the player and then behind the scenes have different conversations. I think there's a real chance he does retire when it's all said and done. St. Patrick's Day, just around the corner. And if you're like me, because there's a green screen back there, I don't have many things that are green. If you want some Cowboys-themed gear that's green, perfect if you're running out of the town or whatever, go to chatsports.com/CowboysGreen. Men and women's stuff is available. A couple different styles as well. It is a perfect purchase just in time for St. Patrick's Day. Chatsports.com/CowboysGreen. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. From Brokov, would you rather sign Eric Kendricks for 1 year, Bobby Wagner for 1 year, or LV on a 5-year, $50 million deal. I'll do Bobby Wagner for 1 year. Then I guess Kendricks. I don't want to do a 5-year deal for LV. If there's low guarantees and get out after 2 years, I'll put LVE over Kendricks, but not a high guarantee deal there. CD's Nuts says sign DeAndre Hopkins, 2nd round, 3 years, $70 million deal. Roll to tight end group, release Zeke, get a 1st-round offensive guard, quarterback in the 3rd round, nose tackle, linebacker in the 4th and 5th, cornerback in the 6th round. I don't think the Cowboys would do that for Hopkins. I know he's been hanging out with Dez. Please don't read into that. We know how the Cowboys actually do business, but it'd be a fun addition there. From C-Real, trade for Jeffrey Simmons. I would love it because Simmons is the exact impact I think this team has not had in a while, but he's also awesome at football. So are you going to move your 1st-round pick and maybe more, since I think the value is at least what DeForest Buckner got? That was a premium 1st-round selection. And then would probably make him the 2nd highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. I would consider it. I would, because Simmons is awesome. I don't think the Titans are going to trade him right now, and I don't think the Cowboys, because of the way they do business, would move that much in terms of the draft capital and the actual money capital. Now, I do want you to know a player who you want to trade for. Let me know in the comments who you want the Cowboys to go trade for, and that's what I was going to say before I got all flustered. Subscribe, because NFL free agency is almost here. If you want more free Cowboys videos, you've come to the right spot. Hit that sub button. It's all free right here on the Cowboys Report. Lance Dunbar's burner. Pick one, Denzel Mims or Kenny Golladay. I'll go Mims because I think Golladay is just kind of cooked here. I would hope it's via a release or a late day 3 pick trade, but of the two, give me Denzel Mims. The pass master, if it's anyone, I'm going for Jesse Bates or Jordan Poyer at safety. Cowboys won't because they don't value safety that highly, / they want to bring back Donovan Wilson, maybe. Bates will be way too expensive. Poyer might be just a little bit too expensive. Ecuador man, Cam Smith or Emmanuel Forbes, if both available. I go back and forth. This is probably like your number 5 corner, number 6 corner. If you are scared of Forbes' size, my player comp for him is Slenderman. He's 166. Just not an ounce of meat on that dude's bones. But he's fast, and he's got ball skills. That's all super valuable to me. But the maybe safer one from that standpoint ends up being Cam Smith. Either guy, especially in round 2, I can get on board with. Joseph Rodriguez, if Mike does bad, would you sign Lincoln Riley? I'd consider it. I don't know if Lincoln wants to jump to the NFL, but that's the guy I wanted way back when they were firing McCarthy. They did not go that route there. He only recently went to USC. I think those high-end college jobs are better than the NFL jobs, even the Cowboys one. So I would have interest, but I wouldn't get my hopes up for the Cowboys actually landing him because they'll just hire Dan Quinn. That's how they operate. No real coaching searches ever. Banned for life. Will the Cowboys at a team sign Terence Steele and draft a right tackle? So background here. The Cowboys placed the 2nd-round tender on Terence Steele, which gives them a $4.3 million salary for him in 2023. A team can make an offer sheet to him. So they can give him, say, 5 years, $55 million, whatever. The Cowboys can then match that offer sheet and keep him or decline to and get a 2nd-round pick back. I think coming off the injury, they're not as convinced team will make that offer. I thought they would have gone with the 1st-rounder. It was about $1.7 million more, not that much more. In general, teams don't do offer sheets, maybe because of collusion, but Ryan Bates got one last year, so that's one to keep an eye on. I would bet, though, he's back in Dallas next season. But what would you guys do with Terence Steele? T for trade, W for wait, or P for pay? Get those answers in for me in the comments section. Rashard Lee, $2. Draft Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. I think you have to take him in the 1st round. I don't think he gets to you in round 2. So if that's the path, I'm not taking another back in round 1. I can't have him pay Pollard. Running back should not be on the table in the 1st round. From Mark, JJ will try and seem like the nice guy saying he wants to re-sign Zeke. He dumps him in the end, says he tried. Too many good backs to keep Zeke. I think Mark's onto something there. I really do. For Mark, aren't there a bunch of solid DTs like Hankins for 4 to 5 million we can grab that would be upgrades over Neville and Osa, but those guys are okay at best? I know there was a report that the Cowboys weren't going to cut Neville Gallimore, which was weird because nobody said that they were, outside of like speculative stuff like I did, because he wasn't active for your playoff game last year, or at least one of them. That's noteworthy. I think he's on the roster level entering camp. He gets a chance to hang around, though, beyond that. I'm bringing back Hankins or a similar run stopper. I'd love to invest in a premium defense tackle. Cowboys haven't done that in a very long time. Luis Rodriguez will take a draft Joey Porter in the first round. Trade up to the top 15. And that's if he slides. I've had him in there in that top 15 range. Like, too many teams need a corner. Like, let's be honest, he ain't getting past 17. Steelers need a corner. Drafting Joey Porter's kid? You got to get above them, above the Commanders, I think. Too many teams need a corner, and he's a damn good one. From Mighty Ant 0215, signed Ben Powers from the Baltimore Ravens. I'd call. It's a good name, good suggestion. I somehow doubt the Cowboys would want to spend money at guard. Even though I would do it because I think that fixes your left side like that. We move on from Tyron Smith there. He might be out of the Cowboys' self-imposed, emphasis on that part, self-imposed price tag range. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney if we did not get to your question here on the live mailbag. My DMs are open for that exact reason. Hit me up at WhatGoingDowney. All right, back to the pinned poll today. Do you like tagging Tony Pollard? Plus, there was 2 super chats from Tim Stewart and Mark I want to get to here as well, Jeremy. The most recent one from Mark. First from Tim Stewart. I want to see y'all drunk. Sign ET and TL and draft Mark Landers late. Drink up. We are technically 50 cents away from a shot, but I'll give you a halvey, even though there was no drink for Earl Thomas super chats, but it did come in, so I'll allow it here. Thank you, Tim. Do you want to read Mark's super chat here, Jeremy, while I start doing this? $1 away from another shot.
My man, Mark! The potential of getting a number 1 pick for Steele over a number 2 for the cost of $1 million more is worth it. To clarify, I meant DTs that we don't need to trade for.
Oh, so free agency. Yeah, I mean, here's the issue. I think Draymond Jones fits that mold. Hargrave does too. They might be getting like $20 million. More like $15 million. Cowboys won't do that there.
What about the...
and to answer that part of the question, I would have given Steele the first round hitter. I don't think I was going to do it, but I would have given it to him.
What do you think about the guy from the Cardinals?
Zach Allen? I think he's kind of more of a 3-4-D, which you can make work in this scheme, but kind of think he just benefited from playing with Watt. I don't know if he's actually that great. I think he might be an overpay guy who gets cut after 2 years.
You think so?
Yeah. I would rather have Draymond Jones.
What about Zach Sealer?
As like a more of a run stopper focused, I could get on board there. He offers enough pass rush to make it worthwhile.
He's in his
maybe he's more affordable.
He's in his last year with Miami, but I don't think they're going to extend him, so they might be willing to trade him.
Call about that one. There you go. All right, Wheelicky. Chat Sports Lives for free agency next week. You know it, my friend. We'll be live on the main Chat Sports channel, youtube.com/@chatsports. If the Cowboys do something, we'll be live here too. Wouldn't that be nice? They did something.
Tom waiting at his desk, poking Jerry Jones on the ground.
Come on, do something. Come on, do something.
And we are 50 cents away from another shot.
We'll see if we get there. Let's get set up for our final. Oh, there it is!
Oh!
Ecuador man AOG. Sign Jeremy or Earl Thomas? What would you play for, Jeremy? How much guaranteed money would you want to sign?
To sign with the Cowboys?
I'm just going to hand you the shot glass here.
I'll go for the vet man.
Vet man? Cool. I'm signing Jeremy, and then I'm cutting him in camp.
Deal.
Because I don't really want to give the money to Earl Thomas.
Vet man, 100% guaranteed.
So about $1 million.
I'll take it.
I'll
go to Cowboys camp.
I'll eat the dead money.
I'll be an Oxnard.
Weird way to say it, but okay.
That's how Jerry says it.
If you say so. One more from Mark, then we'll start our final segment today here. Cheers.
L'chaim. Oh, wait. I literally.
Jeremy pulled himself off to do the shot. That's hilarious.
I didn't do it. Here
There
you
you
go.
Mark, getting a stud guard to make it easier to Smith and save some big money. I think it's hurt too often and it's too expensive as a swing tackle. Yeah, that's why I think something has to happen with his contract. I don't think he's back at his current number. I know what the Cowboys said publicly, but it just paying whatever $13 million for a swing. That's not going to happen unless their plan is Tyron starting. But at this point, you're so far down the Tyron Smith injury road that you actually have to have a really good insurance option. And the insurance it's like, let me put it this way. The car is so beat up and it's been in so many accidents that the cost to insure it isn't how it works, but the cost to insure it or fix it maybe, that's a better analogy. The cost to fix the car is as much as it would be to get a new one. So just buy the new car.
Your transmission's messed up.
Yeah, everything's screwed up. It was totaled. To fix it, it's going to cost more. Just buy a new one. That's the better analogy, not the insurance one. I was kind of falling down the trap there with.
You've been
I've been
all over the place.
I have
today.
been. It's been a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Blame it on the sleep deprivedness from the combine, I guess.
Blame it on the
Alcohol. All right, we also have launched, by the way, a NFL draft channel here at Chat Sports. YouTube.com/ChatNFL. Nice job, Jeremy. We want as many Cowboys fans as possible following that channel because the more subscribers we get, the more videos we can do. I'm going to try to get you off here. You didn't even notice it. How many Cowboys fans will go follow? Go do it. We got mock drafts, analysis, news, rumors, everything else in between, draft trade stuff too. YouTube.com/ChatNFL. Hit that sub button. Soon. Oh, he got me. Come on. Really?
Let's go. I'm in your head, Downey. I'm in your head.
How did you get me on soon?
I'm in your head, Downey.
I never go with. I've never said go subscribe soon.
I'm in your head, Downey, and just to let y'all know at home, it's a dirty place.
Now,
I'm in there.
That part's true.
I'm in there. It's nasty. It is nasty.
That was. I was thinking like I can't say today or now because that's what I say.
You want to rock paper scissors?
I'll go soon.
You want to rock paper scissors real quick?
No,
I'm in your head already.
I know you're in my head. I don't like it here. I don't like you being in here. Get out of here. All right, let's get set up for our final segment here.
Yeah. Honestly, if you just want to go help with that, I can do the last segment. I can put the sponsor read in there.
Getting some nice behind-the-scenes convo there between Jeremy and Sperry since Raiders are tagging Josh Jacobs, which, like, of course they are. Always interesting stuff this time of the year. For, like, the third different report that the Broncos are quietly shopping Cortland Sutton.
Oh.
Okay. But that was also a previous report, which we did here on the channel, which you guys knew if you're subscribed. All right. Go subscribe to our NFL channel, youtube.com/ChatNFL, before we get to our final segment of the day. youtube.com/ChatNFL. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Today's show, 3 different trade ideas, blockbuster ones-ish. There's one that I don't think counts as a blockbuster trade, but whatever. For the Dallas Cowboys, it was their top hypothetical trade package. Now, if the Cowboys make a trade, we will be live and breaking it down for you. If you just like Cowboys YouTube videos in general, if you like me destroying the arguments of other media people, this is your chance to subscribe because we do that, and we're about to do it right now. So hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. The first blockbuster idea, of course, it's on this guy, Jalen Ramsey, the Rams corner, which shouldn't really surprise anyone that this is the trade that they begin with, given all the rumors on Ramsey getting dealt. Here was the trade package. The Cowboys get Jalen Ramsey. The Rams get Tyron Smith and a 2023 fourth-round pick. I would do this so fast, I think I would probably break a bone in something trying to click accept as fast as humanly possible. You are trading a injured, might retire offensive tackle and a late fourth-round pick for one of the best corners in the NFL. I'm in. Where do I sign? I have no idea why the Rams would do this. Now, the article itself mentioned not hang up a first-round pick, which makes me think they value Tyron as like an early second-round pick, because that's what a late fourth doesn't have that much value. So that really overvalues Tyron Smith, who, by the way, I think would just retire if you tried this. I think you might just go, I don't want to play in LA. I'm old. My body's beat up. I'm going to retire. I do it. In terms of a Ramsey trade in general, so non-specific here, they are shopping him. I think the cost would be too much. You might get him for 2-2s. Or late 2 this year, late 2 next year. But you probably got to give him a big, fat new contract, which I'm okay with doing. Might impact Diggs long-term, but it fixes all your cornerback problems. Ramsey and Diggs on the outside they're probably not going to throw at Ramsey that much, so I'm okay with Diggs getting another 10 interceptions if they're going to keep throwing at him. That's fine with me. That would make me happy if they got Ramsey. And I know the rumors have been, Cowboys planning something big. They weren't. Not really a thing there. Now, they could still do something big. Jerry says, don't rule it out, but we know how Jerry operates. We know what this Cowboys team really does. We would all be happily surprised if they actually did something big. So will they? It's the pinned comments on today's video. Y for yes, N for no. Go predict. Will the Cowboys do something big this offseason? Simple Y for yes, N for no. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, go down that pinned comment. This next one is not really your blockbuster trade. Shaquille Griffin, the cornerback of the Jacksonville Jags, who will not be in Jacksonville next year. He's either going to get cut or traded. We'll break down why in a little bit. First, the trade idea from Bleacher Report. 2023 7th. Now, asterisks here because Bleacher Report, at least in the initial article, has 2027 7th round pick, which I'm convinced is a typo because A, that makes no sense. B, they wrote it as like this year was like the context in the actual article. And C, you can't trade a pick that far away. So no, I think they mean conditional 7. I think that makes sense because that's the value. Because I think he gets cut. I don't think Griffin gets traded. I think in the end he gets cut from the Jags, and maybe a team like Dallas has interest there. We'll break down some more of the why I think Griffin ends up getting cut here in a next part of today's show. But first, say about today's sponsor, that is Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health. I want something that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel prepared to take on my day. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning anymore, and I feel energized throughout my day. Plus, AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional basis of the day literally couldn't be any easier. That's why I trust Athletic Greens. I mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done just like that. Plus, it costs me $3 a day. It's a pretty good deal if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients, making it the old win-win. If a comprehensive solution of what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That is athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Back to Griffin, the why I think he gets cut. He's due $12.65 million, and he hasn't been that great. He was also hurt a lot this year in Jacksonville. No interceptions. He had 3 his final year in Seattle. This is a 19-game sample size, by the way. Almost 800 yards. 68.4% completion rate. That's not very good. He's not worth almost $13 million. So 1 year, $5 million, different conversation. 1 year, 12.5. I'm not interested on that front. So name a player who you want to trade for if you were the Dallas Cowboys. Let me know in the comments section. Any player, please be somewhat realistic is all I ask. So no Patrick Mahomes there. Hit that sub, or tell me in the comments who you want to go trade for. Number 3, Brandin Cooks, the Texans wide receiver. This one may be Blockbuster, but it's a big enough name of like receivers who could actually be dealt. I think makes sense. Cooks checks in at number 3 on this list. A more realistic package, I guess, than Ramsey. It's 2 fourth-round picks. Now remember, the Cowboys and the Texans had a lot of pre-trade deadline conversations about going after Cooks. What I'll make note is the alleged asking price was the 2. Now, you're getting him for a half less of a season. 2 fourths, I think, is a little bit on the low end for Cooks, but with his contract, maybe it's not the most outlandish. I think it's still a bit low, but it's better than the Tyron Smith deal there. So I have interest here. Would you guys do this trade? Type T for trade, P for pass. Let me know in the comments section if you would make that trade for Brandin Cooks in the comments right now. Cowboys have interest here. Now, they realized, but why would they say publicly? They know they messed up on Amari Cooper. If not the player itself, the way they tried to replace him. They made a mistake there. The Cowboys Texans, if you believe the reports, were close on a deal last year, but the Cowboys want Houston to eat some of the money due this year. Which, by the way, for the record, if you claim to be close on the compensation, but you are not in agreement on what the money involved looks like, you're actually not close. That is a big difference in terms of if they're gonna eat money, you got to give more. Otherwise, maybe you give up less. So they weren't actually close because of that. $18 million owed this year. It's a lot for a guy coming off his worst year in several years. Just wasn't as productive. Offense, the situation, the quarterback play, all of that can be blamed for Cooks. I don't know if you want to pay him $18 million. He's had a history of concussion stuff. He's not going to get cut. He wants out. Maybe Houston, Dallas can make something work there. Of the 3 names, this is maybe your most logical. Keep an eye on it for a trade perspective. I'm unconvinced one would go down, but it is a more realistic trade offer, package, player to target than the other 2, so I will give Bleacher Report some credit on that one. All right, the pinned comment today. Did you like tagging Tony Pollard? Yes or no in the comments. I gave no options of like because you want to pay him or no because you want to have him walk. So 60% say yes, 27% say no to pay him, and 13% say no, let him walk. Noteworthy on that front there. All right, a super chat from Savage505. One call. Supers come in. We'll stay live. Otherwise, we'll tap out here. Who do you want to trade for? I assume we're going like realistic names on that front. Let me pull up my first trade offer. Jeremy, who says no? Caleb Farley, straight up for Kelvin Joseph. Who says no? There is a correct answer here, by the way. Yeah, Titans say no.
The Titans.
I would do it right now, but I don't think they would actually there. Let me pull up my list that I had written down earlier this year. Here we go. Realistic names. What? Just out of curiosity, what's the cost for Isaiah Simmons right now? Because I'll let Van Der Esch leave, and I'll move a nice pick for Simmons. And I think he'd thrive in this defense. Probably a bit too expensive. I would work the phones on insert wide receiver here. That could be a Hopkins, that could be a Cooks, that could be the Bengals are going to trade Higgins. They made that very clear at the combine. I would look at a lot of different wide receiver options there. I don't think Greg Newsom's going to be moved out of Cleveland, but I'd at least check in on the cost there. Your cheap, affordable option is Shaq Mason in Tampa.
I was just about to say
a vet guard.
You got to look for teams that are going to suck this year and try to suck and trying to dump cap. I mean, Tampa Bay is one of them. I think, looking at other teams just off the top of the head, I mean, depending on what happens in New England, the Patriots might be willing to sell. Not sure what they're going to do. They're kind of in a weird flux because it's like, do they trust Mac Jones? Do they not? Where are they at?
There are some around the league who think he could get dealt. That was some combine buzz. The general Mac Jones buzz was, I doubt it, but maybe.
I mean, do the Patriots go, all right, let's Let's tank for our next QB.
I think their plan is to give Jones a year. In Tampa, by the way, they'll sign a vet and let Trask compete for the job.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
The Cardinals are
Caleb Williams,
the
you are a Buccaneer.
The Cardinals look like they're willing to sell. Maybe who's that young corner that they have? Byron Murphy?
He's a free agent.
Oh, they didn't re-sign him.
Yeah. He also hasn't been as good as I was hoping he was going to be, unfortunately. Thank you, Savage. Another super chat coming in here from Pug Racer. Would be nice to trade for Amari Cooper.
Solid
It'd be
joke.
nice. I forget who it was. Someone was claiming that the Cowboys are going to trade for Amari, and that's not happening. It's just to be clear, and I don't know if it was a real claim or just like kind of joking, tongue in cheek. Not happening. Joshua Ramsey. Can we get? I think you mean Cedric Wilson back for a 6th or a 5th. He was always a safety blanket. Here's the thing on Cedric Wilson. The anti-Dak brigade will claim Dak doesn't elevate anybody. Isn't that a great example of him elevating a player?
Cedric Wilson.
Cedric
Wilson's still good. He was just hurt in Miami, and he had two
number
ones in front of him.
But he was being outplayed by Trent Sherfield. Nobody knows who that is. But he came back healthier though. He was still active for a bunch of games. He had fallen behind Sherfield on the depth chart.
Quarterback, I feel like you can't take that into account because the only thing he can throw are drags, and then
that's what Ced runs, and the go ball. I think you could get him back for a 6th, honestly. And I think they'll look out of that deal.
I think that more proves not Dak, but what Kellen Moore can do and how he can elevate wide receivers. If you could have a coordinator like Kellen Moore on this staff.
There's trolling Jeremy. I love you. Never change. All right. We're going to sign off here. Again, make sure you guys have subscribed to us here at the Cowboys Report. We have free videos every single day. At this point, it's now multiple times per day. So do not miss out. No loop.
Do it.
No loop. We'll just end it here, by the way.
Oh, we're just going to end it?
Yeah, we're good. Because I kind of want to get the cut out at a decent time there.
Okay.
So if you haven't already, please make sure you guys are subscribed right here. Oh, one more super coming at the buzzer.
Oh!
That was on an owl moment. It was $2.
Bang!
Chris B, beating the buzzer quite literally there. Do you honestly want to sign anyone in the first week of free agency? If I had to guess one way or the other, that's going to be a no from me, dog. I just don't think they will.
All right, Randy Jackson.
That's what I was going for. I would love to be proven wrong, but if they do sign someone first week, it's like, we brought back Donovan Wilson. That's what they'll do. Big name, they're going to let the market come to them, which means they're not going to get that something special guy that Jerry likes to talk about. So thank you, Chris B. We'll see you guys again tomorrow and every day the next couple days with everything on the Dallas Cowboys.